All right. Welcome back, shooters. We got another fun-filled, fantastic episode coming right your way here. Joey and I don't have any special guests lined up, but you get to see plenty of our beautiful faces. So, Joey, how are we doing today?
Electric.
Man, I can just feel the energy just exuding from your body.
Electric in the air.
So, folks, I played around with OBS a little bit before today's show. So, as you can see, we got some new scrolling topics down below. So, if they're too fast, please let us know on the Twitch chat. If they are too slow, you're probably taking some form of drugs. So, we do not condone drugs on this show. All right, Joey. What do you, I think we all know what we want to start out with, since that's what kept me up all night. So why don't you lead us off there?
Well, what's new, Mr. Big Cat? That's right. Our very good friend, Dan Big Cat Katz of the Barstool News Sports. What is it? It's not barstool.com. I know that. It's like barstoolsports.com.
Yeah, I think so.
Ever heard of him? Yeah, I don't. Whatever. I don't know. He has like 1 million something followers.
Just
on
casual
Twitter.
You know, it's only like 100,000 times more than I got. So,
but still fucking. So anyway, he not actually. I like Big Cat, but he loves taking shots at handball, and I love it when he does it. I'm just like a glutton for pain. I'm like, please, sir, may I have another?
Let's just make it clear that like he is keeping handball relevant. He is the one keeping us. You know, all is dead. I lose hope. I tweet at them like probably on a weekly basis. Just nothing. Boom, handball's back. So it's always good to see. That's 1 million plus people looking at handball. You know, whether they're making fun of it or not, it's something. So.
Good. Make fun of it. Just make fun of it. Please, for the love of God, just talk about it, because we are desperate for any sort of attention at all, and I'm not being sarcastic. The sport is fucking 12 people in the entire United States of America, and I get it. It's not – so the reason he tweeted about it is
I got it pulled up. I'm going to transition here. Ready?
So, yeah, we'll go into more depth here, but it was like the sports ranked by difficulty, which
hold on.
It's some –
Put your phone back up.
BuzzFeed.
You got his tweet or what? I got the list up. You can't. There you go.
Some BuzzFeed nonsense bullshit list that somebody probably just threw together, but he decided to retweet it with the comment, Team Handball at number 26. Someone from Big Handball paid for this ranking.
You're looking at Big Handball right now.
This is as big as handball gets, Big Cat. This is as big as fucking handball gets. It does not get any bigger than two dudes on a fucking Zoomcast podcast right here from Detroit and Columbus, respectively.
Duking it down here.
It's not big. So I take credit for, JD, more so you, because you're more of an aggressive tweeter.
I ain't afraid.
So he's subtweeting, actually. You got subtweeted there. Congratulations.
Not too. What do you mean I got subtweeted?
Like Big Handball is you. You are Big Handball.
Yeah. I'll take
Congrats.
it. I'll take it.
Thank you for your service.
I changed the Armada's Twitter handle to Big Handball. That didn't phase well.
Love it. Well, I changed it to Bigger Handball.
Oh, I did.
15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes, so it wasn't much. I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, Big Handball. I think it's a T-shirt opportunity at some point.
I would get a Big Handball T-shirt for sure. I think like it's one way to fight fire with fire there, because like Barstool literally makes all their money off of, like, I shouldn't say all their money, but they really do like the T-shirts. So anytime there's a new like situation, they're always just like, oh hey, let's make a T-shirt, and then they just sell it to their millions of followers, and they're like, yeah, you can charge $45 for a T-shirt about Coach Doug's going to Tennessee. Like, how is that possible? So,
magic of the internet. Yeah, we I think maybe you and me would get the joke, and then nobody else would. So, true. But it's funny to think about too. It's just just one for the
put it in the back of the noggin there.
Yeah. But yeah, wild. I love it. Every time he does something, I'm involving handball. I'm particularly tickled because yeah, Lord knows we cannot get any sort of um, you know, earnest coverage in the United States. It's always got to be tongue in cheek. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I like the tongue in cheek stuff better because like the fucking highly questionable interview a while back was just annoying. Like they were being like serious and like it was just stupid to
Right.
watch. But like every time Big Cat talks about it,
We
like
all
he'll be
know it's
saying
a
like
joke. Yeah.
yeah, it's just being funny. And
Right.
like at the end of I can't even speak. I can't do anything right today, JD. I gashed my head open on a chair. I have 7 stitches in my face right
Oh,
now.
geez, what a day. Can we go
What a
through,
day.
like, yeah, I did not know that. I can't tell your hat. It was kind of shaded. What happened? What, a chair? Like, how did you just trip and
It's the stupidest thing
face
in the
plant
world.
a chair or what?
Dude, I beat the shit out of that chair. It was
Good. It
talking so
better be
much.
broken into like 50 pieces. Smash it over Big Cat's
I
head
took
back.
another chair, smashed that chair.
Good. Yeah. Threw it in the woods
No, but
where
no,
it
no,
belongs.
yeah,
It's with its
sent it
family.
home, sent it packing to mommy and daddy. Um, yeah, I was trying to kill a fly, and it
Oh,
like flew
jeez.
behind this chair, and I was so zeroed in, ninja focused on this fly that I didn't realize that as it was descending, and so was my body. A chair was there to greet me about halfway down, and I felt a crunch, and I think it was part of my skull, and then yelled "fuck," woke up my entire family, and my dad thankfully stitched me up. My dad's a doctor,
Huh,
so yeah,
it
it was
helps.
exactly how he wanted to spend the Saturday of Father's Day weekend. So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
his idiot 24-year-old son who lives at home. So great day for him. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. Thank you.
Jeez, that's a
That was
story. That's a chalk one up for Father's Day weekends of remembrance.
that will be a good
Holy
one to tell.
cow!
Yeah,
Oh man, wow, that is something.
it happens to the best of us.
Oh jeez, I only had staples in my head. I
Really,
stood up in gym class and there's a big rod sticking out of the wall, and I bonked my head on that. So a couple staples, but
I'm actually a veteran of the stitches on the face. When I was a little kid, I was at Disney World, and again, this one was actually kind of my dad's fault. He was like scaring us. We were in the hotel room, and like I was like, I don't know, yay high,
uh
and like jumped up and like I took off running and like slammed right into the door. So it got me right here, right above my eye.
jeez,
You can't really see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit. And then preschool, the floor was wet, so I had like 5 stitches there, and then I just kind of fell. It's a lame story, but I
jeez,
just
Luis, you are chock full of catastrophes there.
yeah.
But holy cow, that's one way to start the day. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
drifted there a little bit since you've had a bit of a crazy series of events. But folks, we were talking about the sports ranking that was circulating on Twitter, and I saw it early on, and I saw that Handball was on there, and I sent it to Big Cat, and I said that, hey,
Oh,
like, I sent it. It was a couple days ago, and I was like, "Hey,
perfect evidence. Perfect
handball is
evidence.
highly more difficult. Requires much more grit than ping pong because Hank and
Yeah, yeah.
PFT have a big ping pong war. Handball is highly more difficult. Requires much. Can you mute that, Joey? Okay.
I muted it. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I was like, I'm talking to myself. Like, holy cow, that's wild. Rohan, shout out to Rohan in the Twitch chat. Rohan was shamefully upset that he was God bless, I can't even read. Cricket shamefully missing from that list. I agree, Rohan,
Got
that
real
if
slow. That's why.
baseball is at 9, that cricket shouldn't be too far behind. Having played a little cricket, people don't realize that you got to catch the same size ball as a baseball, but without a glove, and that
Is it hard? Like, how do they do that?
it just hurts. It's just a hard ball, yeah. Um, and then like the pitching is just insane. Like they just put all this crazy spin on the ball, so like it'll like bounce and just like the bat's wider, but it's a lot harder to
Yeah.
get a clean hit. Um, I was my one coworker's Indian, so he was watching the cricket, I think World Cup or World Championships. It was a couple months ago, and some crazy situation happened where the dude scored 100 points, which is like it's a big thing in cricket where if you're batting and you bring in 100 runs, it's like I'm sure Rohan's going to tear me apart here. He's saying the ball is rock hard, man. He's giving me a robot licking his chops emoji. Not sure what that means in Twitch, but I'm gonna roll with it. So thank you, Rohan. But yeah, I'm gonna transition so we can look at this list a little bit more. Boxing number one. Okay, like it's a long rant. I mean, I've done boxing as some training, and
Having
I
gotten
last like
smoked in the
3 minutes.
today, I can attest to
Yeah.
it's difficult to get smoked in the face.
I've played hockey, and it is the skating aspect alone takes people a long time. Then puck handling skills, it's just forget about it. Basketball and football are two things that I don't know. Clearly, this had to be somewhere in America because I strongly doubt a European person would see football and rank them that high. Uh, I heard a lot of like actual basketball athletes getting a lot of flack. Like they were dishing out flack on basketball being ranked as high as it was. Because at the end of the day, like there are some nuances, but I don't know. You can pick it up
Basketball is
pretty
easier
quick.
than handball. Basketball is easier than handball. Changes my mind.
I agree. So we'll jump ahead to some of the ones that matter to us. I look at something like water polo. I think water polo is probably like one of the hardest freaking ones on there.
Yep.
Someone who can swim and swim for like however long their games are, and then tackle other people underwater. Like, have you ever seen the underwater camps? Those water polo games? It's unreal.
Crazy.
Lacrosse is it's always comical to hand someone a lacrosse stick and watch them try to throw because they're like, oh yeah, dude, I play lacrosse. Like, yeah, I can. This is you're just throwing a stupid little ball. Okay, here you go. To give them a stick with a bunch of whip in it, and it's hilarious. Yeah,
cross racket.
So yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, so handball came in at 26th, which I don't know. I'm looking at some of the things on here. Yeah, it's middle of the road. Like, there's some things that are on here that I'm not really sure about. Like,
roller skating.
I don't know what that even really means. Like, is that like inline X Games? Pole vault's pretty scary. I feel like to do, and that's where the big beef that I got into on Twitter was people with doing rodeo stuff, and I'm like, look, my brother-in-law. He barrel races horses. He's been trying to get into doing some rodeo stuff. Like, he's literally a twig. He weighs like 110 pounds. He's 17 years old. Like, he is a scrawny little dude, and he gets on those guys and just runs around. But it's not like you can ask him. It's not crazy hard. But rodeo, you're talking, you got to survive for 8 seconds. Everybody's freaking gone to a bar and rode the mechanical bull. Sure, the mechanical bull is not a real life representation, but at the end of the day, it's like you got 8 seconds of like risking your life versus an hour of like getting beat up, running probably close to like a 15K. Like, it's not something, I don't know. They're two completely different things. Like, how you can rank them, I don't know. This whole ranking is just a bunch of baloney. But the one, oh yeah, the one that people got all fired up about was golf at 51. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough for me because I just sit there and I'm like, I'm president of my golf league at work. My golf partner shoots 36 every week. He's just a regular guy. I'm not trying to say that it's not possible to be, good at golf, or everybody's bad at golf, but golf is definitely something that people get frustrated with a lot because it's a lot of mind games with golf. And it's you versus the course. It's not you versus another human. So sure, the elements might change, but yeah, it's a lot of internal battles, I would say, with golf. So if you can control your own, yeah, exactly. So I think golf is definitely a challenging sport. Do I think that handball is more challenging than golf? Yep, and I have a lot of friends that want to fight me on that one, and I'm like, I've been playing golf for, I don't know, close to 20 years now, and been playing handball for about 8. And yeah, I think I got a pretty good grasp on both of them to know what's hard and what's not hard. So again, this ranking was not put together with any sort of real thought about how sports were, whether it's you got someone fresh off the street who's never done anything athletic in their entire life and you just put them in that situation. Like, I had a roommate in college who'd literally never thrown a football until college. Like, he'd never thrown a football. Can you
It's just
imagine?
was he from like Uzbekistan? Like it's just
No, he's
downright
from West
unfair.
Virginia. He's son of 2 Indian doctors. Shout out Monty.
Um,
Never thrown a football in his life. We had to teach him how to throw a football. And it's exactly what you'd imagine it to be. Like a guy that, that you tell him to make this swimming arm motion and then the ball just kind of, it's not pretty. So I don't know
Conor
where you
McGregor,
start.
bigger bet.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can take somebody to frickin' Top Golf and they can whack a couple balls here. It all looks ugly. So we don't need to get into that beef. But a lot of the items on the list don't really agree with, but neither do a lot of people. But that's what got this conversation started, is that handball made the list to begin with, and a lot of people on Twitter think it's just some stupid game you play in gym class.
Which it is.
In America, at least. Yeah, in America.
People, they're speaking their truth, brothers. Reality is subjective.
So, and when I started, literally attacking people on Twitter, and I would just be like, "Did you play real handball?" Like, well, I played in gym class one time, and I was like, okay, so like nobody was trying to throw you around or like take you to the ground or like shove you, or you weren't trying to, throw it into, a goal with somebody all draped all over you, and then you try to wrap somebody up on the other end, and like, oh, did you play goalie? Did you like actually make a save? Because like that's not really supposed to happen in handball. And they're like, yeah, you're going too far, man. Like, back off. And it's like, all right, well, shut your mouth. So if you want to trash something you know something about. So that's why I'll take the heat. Come at me. My Twitter handle's right here. I've played a lot of the games on this list in some competitive fashion.
Nordic skiing?
I've not done Nordic skiing. So all right, fine, but a good number of these things. So, but yeah, so that was a good evening for me. I was up late trying to tackle some people, and I don't know, it'll die, and Big Cat will bring us back to life. But the key here is like, what do we got to do to keep him coming? So,
is it about keeping him, or is it about keeping the people who comment like thinking about it?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, if we get the people that are talking about it, they're talking about it in a bad manner that makes them not want to be a part of handball. There was like one guy out of the probably like 20 that I attacked that like was like, okay, dude, like I think like we could play handball. But that's my point. It's like, these are like people we could get to play handball.
See, like, I don't even look at it that way, JD. Like, at this point, people who are gonna play handball, like, will find a way to play handball. Otherwise, like, we just need to get the sport on people's like consciousness.
Yeah.
Like right now, like you think about like rugby and lacrosse, like very niche sport, but it was an American pie. Like people were familiar with it. Rugby, it was same thing. It was in Tommy Boy. Like nobody necessarily played it, nobody necessarily watched it, but they knew what it was. So like, even if we're not like selling them, like, oh, you got to start a team and come down to the Chicago tournament this November. Like, even if we're not doing that, we're like having it on their mind so that they at least have a reference of like handball exists and there's actually people who play it. Like, that's a tremendous step in the right direction.
So we just got to keep pummeling people's subconscious with handball, just subliminal messaging left and right.
Yes.
So if we can find a movie to just slide handball into those DMs, like I think we talked about with Martin that the TV show Dark on Netflix, it's a German show, so there's handball goals in the background, but like
there's a porno about handball. I don't know personally, but one of my European friends told me. It's on Brazzers.com. Called Hand Boobs.
I'm gonna leave that for Max to research.
And for the record, I don't know that personally, but
I'm sure Max can get to the bottom of that for us. Rohan, you still on the chat? I think think Rohan might be able to delve into that.
Let's maybe edit that part out because that part
Well,
just
we're live, so
okay, never mind.
there's no
Well,
going back.
have fun. I'm just stating facts.
Yeah,
Stating
no,
facts.
it's
Not telling
facts.
you facts.
Exactly. So that's cool. It's something. Somebody's
That's
seen
not
it.
nothing.
There was.
There is a movie about handball,
Oh man.
an adult film.
Craziness. So yeah, so it's been a wild couple days. Oh, Rohan says leave it to Max, so we'll leave that one to Mr. Max.
Rohan, you should just can we get Rohan on the Zoom and he can just be our guest?
Rohan, if you want to join my Zoom, totally. I'll just Photoshop you in here real quick if you want in. I'd love to hear Rohan's accent. It's glorious. We'll see what he says. But so some of the other stuff we were planning to talk about today, that I at least came up with, since Joey and I were just fired up about that list for the most part. Since it is Father's Day weekend, why don't we talk about a little bit about who the fathers of handball are? Joey, do you know who those fathers are?
Depends who you ask. Are you talking about the sport?
Let's do the sport as a sport, and then the father of, I'd say, American handball. I'm gonna work on getting Rohan.
Sport as a sport, from what these Danish handball players told me, was a Danish gym teacher, sometime in the late 1800s. I don't know his name, but then somebody else told me it was a German. There was a German gym teacher who did the same thing at the same time. So I don't really know who to believe, the Danes or the Germans, but I'm inclined to believe the Danes, mostly because I flipped a coin and decided that they're more trustworthy than the Germans. But I don't know. It's one of those two, either Denmark or Germany. But yeah, as far as the U.S. goes, I think the U.S. has yet to find a founding father for handball, because I don't think handball is or has ever been to a point where it can be considered actually founded in the U.S., because it is so tiny right now that is yet to be even put on the map. So I'm going to say nobody is the founding father of handball in the United States. You can tweet at me all you want, whoever you are, and I know I will get tweeted at. There is no founding father for handball in the U.S.
All right, shots fired from Joey. He likes to keep it straight there. So I did a little bit of research beforehand, and I knew the answer for the founding father of handball in America, at least from what I've done in my own personal discussions and with people, is that Pete Buning, Dr. Pete Buning, he's the one that brought handball basically to America, whether you want to call that founding father in Joey's terms.
I don't have a problem with him.
So
what year?
I think it was 1954.
So the last time most of these, I don't even want to say it, but continue.
So I'm a big fan of Dr. Buning's son, Hansi. He's helped organize the tournament at Flanders, which is a big shout out to everybody. Flanders is...
Can I retract my statement? Actually, the Flanders guys are the founders of handball. Shout out to those guys.
So Flanders is they're going on year number 61 this year for the longest reoccurring handball tournament in North America, if not South America as well. So they pretty much have dominated this hemisphere. Columbus Armada has been fortunate to bring home some hardware the last couple of years, so we're very proud to be a part of such a historic event. But yeah, the Flanders community, it's crazy. It's just this hole in the wall little forest town, and they got this little setup out there where they're just like, we're gonna play handball and soccer out here. Fistball, they love fistball out there in Flanders. You ever played fistball, Joey?
The hell is fistball?
Basically, it's like volleyball with your fist, and you can let it bounce once. So it's, people are like, handball's like that made up game. It's like fistball's like volleyball for people that, it's played on grass as well, like on a bigger court too. So, yeah, it's probably fun. It's really fun to play, I'd imagine, because that's my least favorite part about volleyball. So I'm just like, oh man, I wish it would be like one bounce. Then I definitely could have got that. Well, fistball definitely makes that happen. So, so Pete Buning, I would say he's the American founder. Oh, I even have a slide. What am I doing? I'm not even showing their beautiful faces here. So got a little picture here. There's Pete on the right, and then the center picture is him with one of the national team programs, I believe. All compliments of the USA Team Handball archive section, which currently is, I got a 403 error, but I've had them before. And then from my research, and then a little bit of shout out to John Ryan, because he's the one doing all the handball research around here. Holger Nielsen seems to be the guy that made up handball, or
Danish?
distributed handball. I think he's the Danish one. And so there's all that debate about the Danes taking it and playing it, and then the Germans making up. I think you talked about how the Germans had their own game, and then they're like, let's play each other for it. And yeah, and then they just kind of duked it out there. So yeah, so shout out to Mr. Nielsen and Dr. Buning as the founders of handball. I'd be curious, since our good friends in Ireland like to copy our segments, what the founder or the founding father of handball in Ireland is. So Chris, Brian, and Alex, you guys are on the hot seat now, so we'll see that next episode. And I want to see the Irish founding fathers. So I'm gonna shout you out. Can we clip this? Somebody clip this for me on Twitch so we can get it to him ASAP. ASAP Hebrew, hope you're on the beat here. So that was the founding fathers. Rohan, we're going to have Rohan on the show here second half. So when we do our commercial break, we're going to bring Rohan on. So we'll see how that goes. Should be interesting. I think I got it figured out, so we should be able to survive. Joey, I've seen you meticulously, looks like taking notes down there. What you got going on?
I so far have no matches on Hinge. So
okay,
you guys are keeping score at home. 0 matches. I'm sorry. I'm listening. I need to this needs stimulation, my brain up here. It's
after getting hit in the face, it definitely hurts. So
yeah, I just need to be both visually and mentally aware right now.
So those are our founding fathers segment. I think while I let the rest of this, our scrolling topics, man, it's hard for me to keep up. So why don't we talk about some of the guests we had on the last few weeks? So recap, everybody. We had Roger Castillo and Chris Brown from the Detroit Tigers minor league report. We had Martin Bilello from San Francisco Cal Heat, as well as the EA Electronic Arts community. And then we had Melissa Califo Garcia from Columbus Futsal.
We're missing somebody. There was somebody else.
Mike Nahamish. Every time. I'm sorry, Mike. I know you're gonna watch this later, and you're gonna be like, I told that guy my name a million times. I just need to look at it. I just need to look at his name, because it's not that hard when you look at it. I just get weirded out by the M there in the middle. I think it is, but I think it's just Nahamish. Anyways, so Joey, who of those guests? What were some of the key things you took away from talking with some of those guests?
Dude, the Detroit guys were just like, they got me pumped up because, like, I don't know, like they just were into it. Like they didn't know about the sport like a week before we talked to them, and like they've been liking a lot of like my Twitter stuff. They like are into handball now. And
they did like their own research before our show, and basically had their own handball team put together from like Detroit minor league players. And I was like, and then they just kind of went into it for like, I went back and I listened to the show one day at work while I was bored, just listening to it. And I was like, they just went on for like a solid 15 minutes, just the two of them going back and forth. Like, no, this dude should be playing center back. This dude should be playing left back. No, that guy's a pivot. Like, and you and I are just like, okay, cool, man. Like, got some new handball fans here, so that's nice. We definitely need to keep them involved. I would love to hear them commentate some games. So when Detroit
Oh, yeah.
starts hosting games, we're gonna definitely need to get them involved. So cool.
Which might be soon. If it's outdoors, compliant with certain procedures, I don't see why not. I don't see why we can't have an outdoor game
All
if
right.
it's responsible, if it's reasonably done, if it's not like we're not going to be cavalier about it. Like, what's the problem if it's outdoors and both of our states say you can have groups of 100 people together, which is what the Michigan rule is. You can have up to 100 people outdoors.
I don't foresee us having more than that in
It would be
attendance.
closed door. We would just need like it would like I don't think it would be responsible to like have fans. So like we'd still, even though it's outdoors, like keep it closed door. But like we're doing everything
Yeah.
right. If we
Yeah.
monitor, we need handball needs to be played. Handball needs to be freaking played right now. There's cornhole on ESPN. There's the Korean baseball league is on ESPN. People need sports right now. People are just craving for something
Mm-hmm.
to believe in, something to cheer for, something to watch, even if it's not. They're watching Belarusian table tennis. We need handball. Like,
Desperate
I get it. We got
times,
to be
man.
responsible. We got to be safe. We got to be responsible, smart, responsible. My head hurts. Anyway, we got to be responsible. We can do it though. There's no reason we can't. Outdoors in some shape or form. We're losing so much ground right now by not playing, but it's fine. I understand. We gotta do things the right way. We gotta be responsible, but like, let's make something happen here.
I'm
Let's
not
make
trying
something
to
happen.
like bring your dad onto the show, for some political insight on
Medical.
pseudo medical opinion on what's really going on, but I'd say that maybe we can talk about that another time. But there's a lot of
Well,
I'd say politics involved with what is actually medically, at hand sometimes.
okay, we'll keep this medical. We'll keep this scientific. We'll get actual medical approval. We'll talk to healthcare professionals who are doctors, who are experts, who have seen coronavirus over the past few months, who've treated it. We'll get their 2 cents. We'll make sure it's safe. Like, genuinely, we will be as safe as possible. But we need handball needs to happen, JD. So within the next few weeks, as stuff's opening up here, man. Stuff's opening up
Yeah,
here.
it's pretty much back to normal almost here in Ohio. The High School Association just said that contact sports can resume play. So,
Really?
so two-a-days are going to get started here for football.
Oh,
So we're going to be getting right back on a gridiron. So I'm finding it tough to believe that if we're going to be okay with having high school sports, that we're not going to be okay with college sports. So it'll be
that was my
interesting.
thing with nationals. I was, as things started to like, turn to poo poo. I was like, listen, like we can have nationals. If high school sports are happening, we can have nationals. Like if college sports are happening, like we don't even need to talk about canceling nationals. But then all that stuff got canceled. So
Yep.
then, all right,
Yep.
naturally, yeah. I
So
agree. Long story short.
it kind of good segue though about talking about games is that there's been a lot of beef on Twitter between Columbus and Detroit. So I think having a
Yeah.
game between the two would be really nice to really settle some of that beef on the court.
Unleash some tension for
So
sure.
yeah, so folks, stand by. I anticipate a game very soon, very soon, in some
Very,
capacity. I will.
very.
I'll let the folks know tonight live on the air. We will be hosting the third annual Ball at the Beach Handball Classic, uh, July 18th. It will not be taking place at Indian Lake due to just the fact that we'd like real playing environment. For those of you that have played at our tournament there before, from a beach standpoint, it is very painful. I spend the whole night beforehand raking the beach so that we get all the syringes and cigarette butts and condoms
Oh
out of the
my
beach.
goodness.
To the point, and rocks. There's a lot of like rocks, so it's very painful to play on. A lot of people leave the games after a full day just covered in bruises and scrapes and burns, and it's not. I don't know. We
Love it.
love Indian Lake. It's quite a real gem of Ohio. But yeah, this year it'll be July 18th at my actual house in my backyard. So we'll
Oh,
have a pool
nice.
set up. We got a inflatable pool for the dogs. It's pretty big, so that'll be set up. Everybody's gonna have a good time there. Beverages and whatnot. A lot of other games going on at the same time. So the backyard's big enough to manage full-size beach court. There will not be
Fire
sand,
up.
but it'll just be grass. It'll be a lot better than playing on the sand at Indian Lake. Um,
For sure.
so yeah, it's the plan. If you got a team that's interested in competing, just let me know. I'll put together my Facebook event here shortly. But so this is our formal announcement. So I know a lot of the OSU and Armada guys are ready to rock and roll. I believe the team Hawaii 5-0 is two-time defending champs. I think I'd have to be mistaken. They're big into the Hawaiian shirt game.
Huge.
So I actually bought a real beach handball this time because we played with dodgeballs the previous couple times and they fly a little differently. So I bought a real beach handball. So
I
I know.
bought one today as well,
Oh,
as luck
good.
would have
On
it.
the select Father's Day special, I went
Dude,
hog
they're
wild.
giving handballs away.
It's
They're just giving them away.
Seriously, people, if you didn't see this, send Joey and I a message. A ball that would normally be like 85 to
80,
$100 is now like 15.
17.
It's
Yeah.
it's and free shipping. Like you really can't
How many
beat
balls
it.
have you bought, JD?
I bought 9. I couldn't. I had to shut myself down. I bought 9 balls and was just like,
Oh, you're
I
a
don't
better
even
man.
need any balls. I just bought them. So I
No.
should state that from our episode last week when we talked with Melissa about getting the youth more involved. I had a couple parents reach out to me after the show about how to get their kids playing handball. So I bought 4 mini handballs. So small start, small step for handball kind.
Big time, brother.
So yeah, so that's the plan for that. I don't know where I was going with that tangent. Besides the beef on the court, so
Yeah.
that's July 18th at my house in here in Columbus. So if you want more details, just reach out to us or say something in the Twitch stream, which I think everybody's left besides Rohan. Other points, Flanders is tentatively August 1st, 2nd weekend in Flanders, New Jersey. So they're scoping out how many teams they think they could get. I know that's probably the Armada's favorite event of the year, the only one that I can get people to show up for. So it's crazy that I can't get people to play in Columbus, but I can get them to drive 8 hours to the middle of nowhere, New Jersey, to play in a just drunken handball fest. So different, people have different priorities in life. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
do it, JD. It's not about what we want; it's about what the people want. At the end of the day, we got to just make it so that the people want it. That's the key to handball. That's the key to handball.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to handball. That's the key to making it grow. We got to make it so that people actually want to fucking play and not. Yeah, we got to make it so that they want to fucking play.
Give them an interest. And one thing that a lot of people are interested in is drinking. Unfortunately, we do not condone that. But if it's a small means to an end sometimes to get some of these adult male participants, fine. We'll definitely not be promoting that with the children. The children, I think, just like handball. Like they just like it, and that's been evident through the Twitter conversations that people liked it when they were kids, and now they think it's some joke because they didn't know there's a real handball entity out there.
There are professionals in the world playing handball, making more money than you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not you personally, Eddie. General you.
Yeah, there's people out there who make more money than me playing handball. I know that to be the case.
Me too. Hey, hands up. Most people, quite frankly. Dude, Nico Hansen, making money.
Yeah, he's making some real bank.
G-Wagon, baby.
So, Joey, I think we're going to have Rohan join here shortly if he's ready to rock and roll. And then we can get into some of these rest of these topics with Rohan's input. I think would be quite comical. So we'll see when Rohan joins. But what else we got going on? Were you golfing today? You got a real golf luck going on.
Grad party.
Grad party. Man, That's something I've missed. I haven't had a single grad party. Did you get him a handball for his graduation gift, or her?
No,
Or
it
uh,
it was a family friend. I just went because my mom wasn't going to cook dinner, and yeah, she just wanted us to come just to be polite, come out and pour. So
okay,
played a little cornhole and had a
good,
nice dinner. And,
good
yeah.
stuff. Good. I gotta invite Rohan here. God bless. Hold on a second. Uh, Copy invitation. Yeah, I haven't been to a single grad party this whole time, so
Well, JD, why? How can you attend a grad party if you're living in fear?
true,
Like it's
true. I'm just saying, nobody. I don't know anybody that's graduated. Like none of my, I don't know, young people have graduated from high school, so it's a weird. It's like an off year. Kaylee's siblings are usually like, or there's some cousin or something like that right down the line. Um, Let me get Rohan connected here, folks. I apologize for our delay as we try to get Rohan involved. My internet is not always the most conducive. Oh boy. So Joey, when do you have to get those stitches taken out?
I think 5 days from now. I'm just gonna wait for my dad to tell me.
Is
Take
he
it
just
out.
gonna take them out? Like, did you do everything at your house? Did he just have like everything ready to go?
Nah, his office is like a mile from my house, so I just went to his
Okay.
office. He was already there, like cleaning it up. He was,
Oh.
yeah.
You just
So
walk
he
in there
was.
just
I was
like
like,
covered in blood, and you're just like, Dad, I'm sorry.
it was like this scene from Saving Private Ryan, where like you're just picking up your arm, like just walking in there with like a bloody head. It was great.
Good,
It was
good, good, good.
hilarious. So funny.
Man, I guess while we wait for Rohan, we can at least talk about a little bit about some of the other guests we had on. Anybody else that something stuck out to you from talking with them?
Dude, like I got something really like valuable just from every single one. Like the Alberta one was like just seeing that like through force of will and just being like, let's go. Like just like we're gonna do it, hell or high water, and just like going at it for a long time. Similar to Melissa last week, like you just gotta
Do it
grind it out and
full
just know where
send.
you're heading and just get
All
off the
right,
tracks. The screen has no brakes.
Joey, we're gonna pause that thought. I'm gonna end this meeting. Rohan, if you're listening, I'm gonna end the meeting and then rejoin, and then we'll come back with Rohan. All right, everybody, take a 5 minute breather. All right, not even 5 minutes. Take a 30-second breather. Whoop.
Cheerio.
Hey, well, why would you do that and spoil everyone's evening?
How the hell are you, Rohan?
Oh, I'm not bad, mate. Thanks. Yeah.
Look what?
Oh dear.
I don't even know how to do that. I wish I did though.
Okay, everybody, we're back. Thanks for waiting. We're joined here with Rohan Shaw. Rohan, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you for being our lone viewer today on Twitch. It's always means a lot, and I hope this goes as a lesson for anybody that's on our Twitch stream. If you want to come on the show, we are not afraid to bring you on, and especially with all of our technical difficulties leaving us some halftime breaks, we can definitely make that happen. Rohan, you do anything exciting today? Maybe tonight? You still got some plans tonight?
Drinking mostly.
Good.
Although yes,
Well, that looks like water though. What
gin and tonic
Ah,
with some raspberries in. It's quite nice.
raspberries. Excellent. Good.
I should admit I have had a few beers beforehand as well. But
Rohan's having a good time.
Yes. Drinking is bad, kids. Don't do it.
That's right. That's right. Rohan is quite the baker as well. For those that don't follow Rohan on social media, he loves to make random desserts. I don't know if you were planning to make something this weekend. I know last week you made some kind of, I forget.
Oh yeah, no, a couple of weeks ago I made a rice pudding. No, so I might make a mango tart soon, but I haven't yet been able to source the mango puree, so I'll try to do that.
Do you have to import it, or are you just saying
no,
you can't
it'll
find
just be
it
off
from
Amazon. It's just not at the local supermarket.
Do you want me to go buy some for you, and I'll bring it over?
Oh no, it's all right. I mean, because then you'd expect some of the pie in return, wouldn't you?
I mean, not gonna lie there. So Rohan,
you say
go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
One more time. Just say mango puree.
Yes.
He just wants you to say those words.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Well, all right. What, mango puree?
Mango puree.
Please don't tell me this is turning you on, because that would be inappropriate.
He's just gonna make a tribute video like he did for Max. So now that you're on the show.
Oh,
geez, hold on.
I hope I don't do something stupid then.
Just made me realize I got the wrong.
You can do no wrong there.
Whoops. I apologize to Melissa and anybody else watching that had the Columbus Futsal tagline there underneath Rohan's face. So I've updated that too now. It's just blank. So
yeah, I should apologize too. Yes, I don't want to bring.
It's a matter of Rohan. What's your social media? Do you want people to follow you? I'm just gonna put Rohan here then, and we'll just leave it at that. So you can just be Rohan.
Yeah, that's. I should get that on the back of a shirt or something, shouldn't I? Really.
Well, it's on. Well, Shaw's on your. You got a handball jersey with that,
yes.
right?
Yeah. Mind you, I did trade the nice one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now you're all square. Okay.
Sorry, what was that, Joe?
Oh, what did you get for the handball?
Oh, so a girl I know who played. Well, she used to play in the Spanish third division, but then when the team got promoted, she decided to stop. Because then the away matches were all over Spain. But she still hasn't given it to me yet. But she was going to give me one of her team shirts.
Cool.
But yeah, haven't got it yet.
Sounds like you got bamboozled, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I've been robbed, haven't I?
British runaround. Mm-hmm. Rohan, why don't you give our viewers a brief where you came from with handball, what you're doing with handball now, and maybe what you plan to do with handball. Just real brief.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure the viewers would love to hear my life story. I was.
It is an interesting one.
I was born a poor black child, just like Steve Martin in The Jerk. But no. So I kind of watched handball on Eurosport quite a bit when I was younger, and then around the time of the 2012 Olympics, so there was a handball team that started up actually just around the corner from where I lived. So it seemed rude not to go to the practice sessions. And so I was one of only 2 or 3 English people in the team. It was mostly Europeans. which was great because they could play handball and I couldn't. I still can't really. But yeah, so I played so that team was called Fulham Hawks. They folded after about 2 or 3 years. But then, I moved to the US. Obviously chose
Why?
Ohio State because of its famous handball team.
That's right.
And no other, and certainly not because no other university offered me a place. But and then basically making up the numbers for the past 3 years or so, getting worse and slower and slower, and yes, even less able to catch and throw. And yeah, gradually moving to playing defense only, which is quite fun actually. Yeah,
Specialist.
Yeah, I would say Rohan actually is pretty solid in defense. I don't know that your offensive firepower is quite there, but
that's putting it mild.
The defense is one. So Rohan's good. He's good. He's a good asset to have because he's got a lot of experience and he can help explain it in some ways that players pick up on, which is nice because people hate listening to me all the time. So when Rohan comes in it with his little British accent, they're like, "Oh, well, it makes sense now." I'm like, I literally said the same exact thing. So God bless. And then, yeah. So, anyways, what do you see yourself doing with handball here in the next maybe 5-10 years? Anything?
I don't know. I tell you what, my body's still barely recovered after the training session we had on Sunday because I mean, trying to defend against Brian was bloody terrible. Still got bruises out. So
for those that don't know what Rohan's talking about, we had a practice with a kid who played football at Akron, which is a D1 football program. They're not very good, but he wants to get into handball, and Rohan was doing his absolute best to try to shut him down, and he was just throwing Rohan around.
Yeah, what position did Brian used to play?
He played defensive end, tight end. So I think he switched his senior year.
Okay, yeah. So any illusions I had of becoming an NFL player firmly out the window now. But yes, so maybe because I think on the call we had with USA Team Handball, they said that they were trying to put on some coaching sessions or some refereeing sessions. So hopefully, if I can get involved in some of that, that would be pretty fun as well. Cool, and then just be your, JD's assistant, handing out water bottles and that at every training session.
Apple juice and orange slices, I think.
Or Gatorade / other brands of sports drink are available.
Ohio State is a Powerade campus, unfortunately. No Gatorade.
Oh right, yes. I don't know what the difference is.
It's just brand. I think Powerade tastes, except for the blue one. I think all the other Powerades are gross, but.
Okay.
I don't know. That's my own personal opinion there. Joey, I think had a couple questions for you on your story.
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
What's your career plan? What are you doing after?
You mean handball wise or hopefully properly? Ideally, go into academia, so get a professorship somewhere, either here, back home, basically wherever will take me.
Nice.
Still want to. In economics. So I'm doing a PhD. Yeah, the reason I moved to the US is to do a PhD in economics. So I'm kind of halfway through that now. Yes, as I say, still got 2-3 years left. And then, it's the vagaries of getting a job as a professor of economics depends. You don't really end up having that much of a choice of location. So it's, whoever will take me.
Apply to places in Michigan, Rohan.
Sorry?
You should apply to places in Michigan.
Well, I did actually apply to
trying to steal
Michigan for my for entrance to the PhD, and they rejected me. Interestingly, the rejection email they sent it to about 300-400 different people all at the same time. Without blind copying them, they CC'd everyone.
Oh
so
boy!
You got to see, that was quite amusing.
No, I'm not saying the University of Michigan. There's so many colleges in the state of Michigan. I actually don't care for the U of M, so you should not.
I mean, this is me possibly being a bit of a snob, but I would prefer to go to, obviously, and I will genuinely go whoever will take me. But if I had a choice, it would be to a university that has a decent research establishment. It isn't just isn't a teaching college, but yeah, it's still not turning my nose up at it, but in terms of preference, I wouldn't.
No, it's fine.
Turn it down.
But it's okay.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't snow. I've been told it. Yeah, there's no snow in Michigan at all, is there?
Yeah, zero actually. What snow? Never heard of it.
Yeah, the further north you go, the less snow there is. I think so.
Yeah, that's how it works, isn't it?
Tropical here.
Yeah, the Flint Tropics. I mean, duh.
Yeah.
The tropics. Well, we're actually unofficial announcement. We're working on starting a team in Flint. So that's exciting.
In where? Sorry.
The guy we've been talking to is going to be out of practice tomorrow, so we'll chat and we'll try to get something going there. But
brilliant.
Yeah. We'll sign up.
Joey, if this is Michigan, oh God bless. Which way is it going? If this is Michigan, it's in the Mitt, right? Isn't Flint in the Mitt?
Yes, it's in the
somewhere here.
Like
okay.
Right here,
thanks, Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Okay, so just north of Detroit, basically.
About an hour north.
All right, not bad. An hour's good if you guys get a team there. That's good. That'd be real nice.
Yeah. You're telling me, man. You're telling me. I can't wait. I'm so excited. The dude's into it too. Like he's excited. Like he seems like a good guy. I am ecstatic. And then my brother's going to start one up in Grand Rapids. He's going to school over there. So yeah.
Good.
We're growing.
That sounds brilliant. Yeah.
The expansion plan is coming upon us. It's great. It's great.
So Grand Valley State.
So what you're saying is, Joe, you're just aiming to get some easy wins to boost Detroit's record.
If I wanted that, I would have played Columbus.
The beef is on.
Yeah.
Set myself up for that one, didn't I?
It was like pre-scripted over there. But yeah, so Rohan, I'm glad you joined the call. I know there's something that a lot of people have been sending me pictures of, but maybe you remember back in I think it was March, maybe.
Oh, the Nationals shouldn't have been canceled.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, what's that dude saying now? Huh? And I'll be like, no, Rohan's still saying the same thing.
Yeah, I stand by. I stand by it completely.
I was thinking about you yesterday. Like, shit, Rohan was like, I'm not going to take a stance just because of my involvement, but what's your rationale? Walk me through it.
Oh, well, it was still, at that time, Ohio didn't have any cases whatsoever. It was still...
there was nothing really confirmed at that point in time. So Ohio was really leading the charge with the Arnold getting canceled. Yeah.
It was mainly a handful of cases in California and New York.
Washington, Washington State.
Yes. Yeah. None of which were actually universities attending the Nationals. So I think, I stand by. I think I fairly confidently stand by what I said. And, everyone attending would be fairly young. So unlikely to themselves be affected by and teams could easily have or individual players could easily have just decided not to travel if they didn't want to. I think it should have been an individual's decision rather than something that was mandated by the university or USA Team Handball. But people may well disagree. They may think that even in hindsight, the right call was made. I would disagree with that, but people are welcome to their views.
I think it would have been crazy to have handball be the only sporting event.
It would have been wild, man. Would have been wild.
Yeah, well, I think the Premier League was still happening at the time that they decided to call it off, but then stopped a couple of weeks later. I can't remember the exact dates, but as you say, the Arnold still went ahead.
Yep.
I agree that's slightly different, given it's a non-contact sort of thing, but still, people are all touching the same equipment, using the same equipment. maybe it was being cleaned, but that can't have been can't have got everything. But yeah, I think yeah, I mean, I was probably a little bit too aggressive in denouncing people that just made the decision. I'll freely admit that. But yeah, I still think the tournament should have gone ahead because then I might have retired and wouldn't have had to put my body through another year of rigorous training and bruises.
I'm glad you think that my training is rigorous. So that's good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. We've stepped it up a couple notches, I'd say, over the last couple of years, which is good.
Yeah. But also, happy to hear from anyone else that has any counter arguments and whatnot, and more than happy to have a friendly discussion with people.
Rohan's very vocal on Twitter, so feel free to attack him out there. He will not hold back. He's one of my many knights in shining armor. So
for sure.
I'm always thankful for Rohan. Rohan,
it's how I get my aggression out, both on the Handball court and on Twitter.
Excellent. Joey and I were talking about some of the guests that we've had on the show in the last few weeks. You have any opinions or something unique about each one of those?
I shamefully have not seen or listened to. I know. I hate to break your heart, JD.
What made you tune in today then? When we didn't have any
I was
guests?
bored and I'd had a bit to drink.
All right. Being honest, shooting straight. All right, that's what we want. Rohan's not beating around any bushes here. He's just getting right to the point.
And honestly, the book I'm reading is pretty dull.
What is it?
It is Stendhal's Charterhouse of Parma. It basically suffers. I think it suffers from the same thing as the same problem as the later Harry Potter books, in that you just didn't have a good editor. A good editor would have cut about 200 pages out of it and really shortened it out and got rid of all the nonsense rambling. But no, still plugging my way through it. I'm going to try to get it finished by the end of this week, end of next week, I guess. But yeah, it's honestly, I preferred the Red and the Black actually in terms of Stendhal's work. But yeah, sorry, I've lowered the tone. Haven't I?
Yeah, I have no idea what any of the words you just said, so I apologize for my uneducated, ignorant being here.
We're a highbrow handball podcast, and I don't see any other. We're in fact the only one.
Where's my tea, sir?
A full air for the literary, quite frankly.
Maybe just have my own 5-minute segment.
5 minutes for Rohan's book review. I like that. Just randomly throw Rohan in. Hey, Rohan, what's the book of the week? Oh, that's great. So there's only one other topic in my scrolling series of topics that we haven't discussed today, and that's a little breakdown on Forum Club Handball. Joey or Rohan, are either of you familiar with FCH? Joey is. Rohan, have you heard of that at all? Okay.
No.
Real brief, basic breakdown. So Forum Club Handball is, you can look it up, you go to their website. It's an organization that kind of operates to connect handball clubs with handball players, basically, or coaches. So kind of like an agent for where all the agents can kind of meet up, maybe, as a way to talk about it. I'm sure John Ryan will inform me if I'm speaking out of turn. He's good friends with Gerd Butzik, the guy that runs FCH, but there's a situation with them where they have an agreement to bring in a certain number of American handball players into European clubs. So a couple of guys have been fortunate to benefit from that FCH program, and one.
When you say a couple guys, literally,
like Drew Donlin, Ty Reed, and
shout out to those guys.
Some others have I think, been involved with it, being our friend Renee Ingram with Kristianstad in Sweden, and most recently Nico Robinson getting picked up by Elverum. So
Was Seb's move over
no,
there?
no.
Do you think, or that
Sebastian
was independent?
Sebastian strictly went to France with Poitiers, or I don't know
Mhm.
how you pronounce it, because that's the women's national team coach, Christian Latulippe. He coaches that club, so it was good for Sebastian to be around that. But then Sebastian just didn't like. He just wanted to be closer to home, basically.
Mhm.
So he moved back to Norway, and now he is in. I think he's pre-COVID, some stuff was going on, but he's supposed to be a part of Robert Hedden's club in Norway, I believe. So, but yeah, so Nico is a German American handball goalie. So he got picked up with Elverum, which is the club of Rasmus Boysen, the famed handball transfers guy, which is
Yeah. Luke Abelo now officially.
oh, that's right. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Holy crap, that was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, dang, that's cool. Getting shots on practice from one of the best right wings of all time. It's pretty cool. NBD. Um, Rohan, if you were to be a part of this FCH program,
Mhm.
what athletes would you be targeting to send over to be a part of this program?
So I guess well, I guess obviously I know the OSU players
Maybe not a
best.
specific person, just like a type of athlete.
Oh, um, I don't know. I think would the aim be to get them for them to basically get better experience of playing, I say proper handball. I would say we probably the best sort of players would be, or the ideal sort of players would be to get the centre backs, send the centre backs over to play, because I think that's where, I mean, in terms of just linking up or learning how to link up play and start attacking movements. I think that is one of the things that the teams here in the US lack is the kind of
Leadership in the backcourt. Yeah.
yes, yeah, exactly, and being able to know when and where to drive an attack and to make a killer pass.
Mm-hmm.
For I
Orchestrate the
think for
offense. Yeah.
wingers, yeah, I think for wingers and possibly to a lesser extent the center and the left and right backs, that's maybe easier to train. But I think in terms of sending players, the sort of players that would be the you'd get the highest returns from would probably be the centre backs,
So
and then secondary to that would be the left and right backs and maybe the pivots.
So how would you feel if I told you that we've had this program going for the U.S. has been fairly involved with this program for over a year now, and we only have two goalies now, a pivot and a right wing.
That I mean, I don't know why that. I mean, it could well be that obviously you only want to send people that are benefiting, that are going to benefit from the program itself. So I would argue that there isn't a point in sending if you think that you don't have any centre backs that are good enough to benefit from the program, then there's no point in sending them anyway. But it would be a surprise to me if there wasn't at least one good backcourt player in the entire United States that wouldn't satisfy whatever criteria there are to benefit from that program and be a proper addition, a benefit to the US national team.
Well, I'll let you know their criteria of what they're looking for right now. To get into that program, they want people that are somewhere in the 18 to 20-year-old range. They want people that are somewhere between 6'4" or taller, and
Wait,
they want people that are left-handed. So if you fit those criteria, then you have a pretty strong chance of getting into that kind of conversation.
Okay, but well, you should ditch the left-handed criterion for a start, because yes, you want left-handed players, but who's not to say that you've got a 6 foot tall right-handed centre back that plenty of those playing in the say German professional leagues or the
Yeah.
Danish or Dutch professional leagues who are top class. So there's no reason to. I don't think there's any reason to have a
Height requirement.
a height requirement that restrictive or a handedness requirement in any sense, really. Yeah, I mean, unless I guess the only rationale that I can think of for that is that they think that their current centre back, left back, and left wing are good enough, so that they're just looking for a right back to send over there. But I mean, I don't know the status or what the U.S. national team is like. But given that they didn't qualify through the Pan Am Games, I would imagine that they should be looking for improvements all over the place and not just one specific position.
Well said, Rohan. You're just a common man.
Yeah. The age requirement, I think, is a bit strict as well, because
they basically want to put them in the academy programs.
Yeah, but at least let them, at least increase it up until 22, so that any university student can join it. Because a few of our players, was it Matt, who was in the Hutch, the good pivot who graduated last year.
Mm-hmm.
He only found out about handball in his last year.
Yeah.
He could have been
if he'd been playing for 4 years, he would have been a lot. Exactly.
But also, given that he only played for a year and still was pretty decent, he could well have qualified for that program if it wasn't for the age requirements.
Right. So I don't know. It just gets tough to get people invested, and we're already struggling to find people to want to play handball, and then you toss this little carrot out there in front of them. It's like, well, I could become a professional handball athlete pretty quick if I play my cards right.
I mean, what really sucks is I'm too old for it, and too short, and not left-handed.
Oh man! Well, that was well said, Rohan.
That's my problem with it as well.
Yeah, I think we all meet those or miss those requirements. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll be interested to see how it pans out. They really want to get more U.S. based players over there. I know there's a lot of good dual citizens kind of coming down the pipe here. One in particular is a right back who's 15, I think he's 6'5" right now.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah,
he chose handball rather than basketball. Or?
Yeah, he just got sent to the Flensburg Academy program. So, yeah, he's 15.
Who is it?
His name's Tristan.
Where's he from?
He's from Renee's hometown in Germany, or close to Renee's town.
Interesting.
So, don't know what his U.S. connection is, but yeah. Should be interesting.
Over in the Netherlands now
as
well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that might help bring or even if it's only for say a fortnight or so, going for a few training sessions, then that'll give people a decent experience of what it's 14 nights, 2 weeks.
Thank you. I'm like, okay, yep, a fortnight. I definitely know what that is.
Yeah, sorry. Yes,
educating the people.
Then. I try. I mean, doing some of the teaching, it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I should. But yeah, so even if it is, people go at we take, Gabe or Luke go over and train with. So what was it, Volendam? You said
Volendam. Yep.
Volendam. Yeah, if they train with even their first or second team for a couple of weeks, that'll be a good, useful experience for them as well.
Yeah.
So it's a shame Mark didn't get a job in Barcelona, because that would be a much nicer place to visit.
That would be cool. I've never been to Amsterdam, but I know that Dale and Matt Manning from the Ohio State team went this past March and had a blast. So they had a good time. So I think we'll be making some trips out there in the near future once all of this Corona crap goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, I think we're well over our hour mark, and we got the timer coming on Zoom. I think it's time for this ship to go home. It's time to go to port.
Thank you.
All right.
It was a treat to be able to talk to you, be able to see you, to grace our listener, both of our listeners, with your silky velvet.
I'm assuming that the recorded output that's on iTunes has a much wider audience.
We're still working on the iTunes avenue, but your microphone is crisp. You do sound very, very nice.
Well, I say it's all for Joey's recording and whatnot.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he can capture all of it in its glory, pomp, and pomp and whatever nonsense.
How would you feel about like commentating a match? Even if it's
he loves. Rohan does a lot of our games.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, as long as I have a co-commentator and can drink at the same time, it's perfect.
Yeah. Rohan's been known to bring some goods into the games.
One has to stay hydrated, and that's all I'm saying.
Mental lubrication.
So
exactly.
Excellent. Rohan, well, thanks for tuning into the show, and I hope this is a lesson for people. It's a lesson for people that if you tune in, we'll just throw you right in, and you can come right on and be on the air. So this episode was a little bit of a down spell for us, but hopefully we can rebound with some cool guests coming up.
Man, I feel insulted now.
I'm just saying.
Shut your mouth, David.
I'm looking at the Twitch feed. That's what I'm looking at. Twitch numbers don't lie. I'm just saying.
Shut your mouth.
So.
Oh man, I dressed up and I put on clothes for this.
You didn't have your Halloween outfit on, so that's why we would have got the viewers right there. So for all those that don't know, Rohan goes hard in the Halloween game. Goes hard.
Yeah, I dressed up as Willy Wonka last time. Well, one as Willy Wonka.
It was very well done.
And Buster from Arrested Development.
It's very well done.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Rohan, you're my spirit animal.
Thank you.
Question mark? Who put the question mark on the teleprompter? Cool. All right. Well, everybody.
It's been my pleasure, guys. Thank you.
No, thank you, Rohan. Thank you, all of our viewers, for listening this far. And as always, keep shooting, shooters.
Namaste.
Oh no, that's all right, mate. I say happy to help out whenever. It's fine.